So I'll just go around the room quickly. I want to get a sense of your expectation from this session.
Nothing beats hands-on learning, so I'm just here to absorb as much as I can.
I'm just here to discover what may or may not be missing for the next step of my career.
I'm here to learn, relearn.
So when you talk about photography and a picture, composition is everything that picture consists of. So right now I'm switching at 1.2 and just blurring out the texture on that background.
Once the hands are in the shot, like it's an automatic winner, it just makes for a very wholesome image. Right on the edge of the box, okay? Because the lighting I want to use is the light that comes from the outside of the box.
Tonight, please, if you can hear me, let me know you can hear me. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Please let me know you can hear me. You are welcome to the Creative Quarters webinar. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, please put it in the chat box that you can hear me loud and clear. You are welcome to the Creative Quarters webinar. We look forward to having a great time this evening. Our guest is already in the house, is already in the room. Please, Ada. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, please just let me know in the chat box that you can hear me. Um, Thank you for coming in, Dafe. Thank you for joining us this evening. Let's know where you're joining from and who is here with us this evening. It is the Creative Quarters webinar, and it's going to be amazing this evening with our guests in the house already. Um, yeah, thank you so much, Nehemiah Olusegun, for joining. Thank you for telling us that you can hear loud and clear. Uh, we're just going to wait for a little bit, like maybe about 2 minutes for more people to join so that we actually don't leave a lot of people behind. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nema, for letting us know that you're joining from Lagos, Nigeria. I hope you can see me. My camera doesn't really look so great this evening, but we go, we go. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be amazing this evening. We're going to be learning a whole lot on how to integrate AI into your creative process. And it's going to be amazing because the person that we're talking about it has been in this game for a while, using it for both photography and for videography, and also integrating it for product, to make your product look great and much better. So I would just let Dafe in. Yes, Dafe has joined in. Dafe, please, if I'd like to hear your voice to be sure that the audio is good and we can hear ourselves.
Yes, hello, Senator Freddie. I can hear you clearly.
All right. I think if you can probably increase your volume, I think it should be great. Please, if you can hear Dafe, please let us know that you can hear Dafe. So, Dafe, I'm going to turn it over to you to take over from here in the next 1 minute. Yeah, I can see some people are joining now. Yeah, Dafe, you're trying to say something.
No, no, not really. I'm with
Okay,
you on this.
awesome. All right. Please, if you can hear Dafe, let us know that you can hear him so that we can just go ahead now.
Yes, let's just go ahead in the chat box and notify us that you can hear what we're saying.
Okay, awesome. All right, all right. So thank you very much for letting us know. So Dafe, I'm just going to let you have the floor to talk about what you're going to be teaching us this evening, and also what we should look forward to, basically. So Yamin Sambo, thank you for telling us that you can hear us. We're grateful. All right, Dafe, you can just take over from here.
All right, thank you very much. Uh, I believe I don't have to introduce myself again. You've done a great work introducing me, and again, I want to say thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and this is a great work you're doing, you and the team. This is a great work you guys are doing. I've been created to come around and speak on the very journey of creativity and what we've been doing so far. So yeah, I want to say thank you for that. And quickly,
Oh,
without wasting any more time, I will quickly share my screen, then we can just get started. Is that okay?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Hello guys. So if you can see my screen, please just notify me on the chat box. Please go ahead and just notify me if you can see what I'm displaying. You can see my display right now. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Okay. So, yeah, so for quite some time, I've been really working on AI. Again, I've been a photographer for over a decade. I mean, about 15 years. And I've experienced, few creative journey and processes. And moving into AI and then integrating into my photography has been a game changer. And yeah, I think this is what I want to share. So first of all, we'll talk about AI and prompting. But before we go further into that, I started photography just around the time where um, digital photography got introduced to mainstream, to the market, and there are a lot of people I could remember who were unable to transition because they fear the fact that they don't know what they will meet along the way. So many people actually stayed back, and that was detrimental to their career and to their businesses. But for those who were able to transition from analog photography to digital photography, that was a whole new beginning for them. And I would say AI is a lot more faster, a lot more innovative, and a lot more different. But then we all need to transition into AI and somehow integrate it to what we're doing. So, again, I'll try to speak slowly so I don't, everyone will get to hear exactly what I'm saying. So first of all, let's talk about AI. What is AI? I think we all know by now that AI simply stands for artificial intelligence. And what does that really mean? I mean, before now, we are actually familiar with um, artificial intelligence long before now. I mean, over 20 years ago, it has been there. It has been there for about 50 years, and we've been using it. But those were narrow AI, not as broad as what we have today. Those were our Siri, those were Alexas, those were algorithm and all the things we've been using on the internet. These are AI, but they are referred to as narrow AI. But for the first time in our living experience, we got to be introduced to a broader LLM, which is a LLM actually stands for large language model. We got introduced to this, and it's now has made public, whereby everybody can gain access to it and use it freely for whatever work they're whatever project they're working on. I mean, so that's that for AI. And prompting simply means being able to communicate with computer in our own language, right? Before now, I mean, people had to learn coding, programming to be able to speak to the computers, meaning they had to learn computer languages to speak to the computers. They had to learn Java, they had to learn C++ and Python and all other languages that are there to be able to communicate fluently with the computer and get the desired result that they want. But for the first time, uh, we as artists, as non-programmers, we now have the opportunity and the access to speak to computers because computers can now understand our own languages, and that's what prompting is about. So prompting is, for now, at this very moment, is the basic of all AI interaction. You must know how to prompt to be able to get any desired result from chatbots, from down to generating AI images, videos, audios, and sound. You just must know how to prompt. And most of what going to be doing today, we still fall back on prompting. So if you look clearly, you can see the image on my screen right now. This image was created, I think that was 3 years ago, 2022, just around the time Midjourney got introduced, right? And I was able to prompt this on Midjourney AI. Now, Midjourney AI, of course, is a tool, and I'll just take you to the next page where we'll talk more about that. All right. Midjourney AI is a tool for generating images, same as Flux, same as VO3 from Google, and there are thousands of other AI applications that you can use for prompting your images, for generating videos, for generating text copies for your content. There are thousands. I mean, it's all flooding in the market right now. Okay, and everybody has got access to this. Some are for free, and some you have to pay a little, and some you have to pay way much more. All right. And for this class, we'll be talking about Flux. We'll talk about VO3. Then we'll also talk about a few other AI tools. We probably won't go all deep into it, but then we'll touch the surface and we'll learn a thing or two on how to use them, how to access them, how to prompt, and how to get the best prompt for everything you want to do, not the perfect prompt, because there's no perfect prompt. All right. So let's go to Flux. When I started with AI, I quickly moved into the niche of creating content for e-commerce stores, brands, and SMEs globally. That was the path I actually chose. And every person who is a creative today has the opportunity to use whatever tool that deemed fit for their own production. I mean, an architect would go into ChatGPT, right? And because this person actually understands architecture and all the terminology that's been used, there is no way a photographer will be able to produce a better image than an architect in ChatGPT or in any AI application. Same way, a copywriter would never be able to produce a better image than a photographer because we have the terminology, we understand what aperture means, we understand what speed, ISO, white balance, and depth of field, rules of third, and all these compositions and all the terminology and all the things that it takes, all the elements it takes to actually create the perfect image. So AI as a tool for now, and I'll use the word for now because it's a wave, and the wave keeps changing, right? It all started as generating AI tools, and now we have AI agents, and we're moving towards AGI, and all this I will explain. We're moving towards AGI, and AGI simply stands for Artificial General Intelligence, and maybe ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence, and it goes on like that. So it's a way we all need to flow with, all right? And when I say flow, it means you need to learn every day. You need to follow up on what's happening, what's trending. you need to do your daily research on what's new with AI and what tool is best to use right now, because the tools keep changing. New and better tools are being produced on a daily basis, right? And again, AI upgrade itself every 5 months and 2 weeks, right? Its IQ double up within every 5 months and 2 weeks. So what we're seeing right now, it's not going to be the same in a few months from now. It will be way better. Now, if you're stuck with the old one, you wouldn't know that something new is out there, right? So you need to be updated. You need to learn what's new and what you need for your own production, for your workflow. Okay. So let's talk about flux. And before I go on, I need to be sure everybody's following. So if you're following, please just feel free to hard up on the chat that yes, you're with us. Okay. So this is flux. Okay. I was just working on the project before the class, and I'll talk briefly on Flux and how you can download it into your computer and how you can use it. It's one of the best, right? And one of the most affordable. And when I mean affordable, you don't get to subscribe on a monthly basis. You pay as you go. All right. So I will take us to a new browser. All right. And let's open that. And so what I'm doing right now is teaching you how to install Flux and how to use it. Then we can go into prompting and creating some really interesting images. Okay. So what you want to type is Black Forest Lab. Okay. Click on that. Then we can move to the templates. Okay. Scroll all the way down. All right. So where we have all of these icons over here. So within these icons, we have the free pigs, we have replicates, and I've been using replicates. We have Leonardo AI, we have Trade AI, we have other AI platforms that you can work from. And I would want us to go and use replicates for this. So all you need to do is click on replicates. Please let me know if I'm too fast. Let me know if you need more attention. Just type it in our chat box and I will definitely get back to that. Okay, so what you want to do is come to this place in replicate. All right, so what I'll just do is log again. Come back to this. Okay, so now this is replicate, and this is one of the platforms where you can use, so it's more like a server where you can use Flux AI from. Okay, then all you need to do is sign in. All right, but before you can sign in, you need to go to another application called GitHub. All right. So we sign into GitHub. I've already done all this, so I wouldn't want it to take so much of our time. Okay, maybe I'll send an application on step by step on how to do a step by step PDF on how to actually sign in and sign up and then sign into this application. So quickly we just rush down to where I was working from. Okay, so I'll take this off. Okay. Uh, okay, we just wait for this to load up. So what we have here, we have different applications, not just Flux. We have the Flux application. We have Google Imagen 4. We have the Leonardo AI Motion 2.0, Phonics, and I mean thousands of AI applications that you can use from this server. And why do you have to use a server? I mean, for those whose systems are not very powerful, such that maybe you're using the 64 gig RAM and some very powerful system, it's best you work within a server, right? But if you have a very powerful system, then you can install AI into your system. And I mean, there are certain applications that would require way more powerful RAM and configuration to work with. So to just bypass all of those stress, I simply work from replicate. Okay, so what you want to do next is come to this. You can go to the search bar right there, okay, and just type in flux. Okay, let's see that. Now, under Flux, we have the Flux channel. We have the Flux 1.1 Pro, the Flux. There are numbers of it, but I would prefer to work with the Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra because it gives the most realistic image and the best resolution for whatever you want to use it for. And we can just click on that. Please let me know if I'm speaking too fast. Okay, so we can click on this, and if you can see the interface, you still already have like a mountain here, and we have a place where the prompt will be written, and then we have the image prompt, all right, and so on and so forth. So the prompt here means the command you want to give to the machine, all right, for your desired result. And the image prompt is you bringing a reference image into the system, and now you want the AI machine to actually reference that image and give you a lookalike or a close to, right? And that's when you get to use the image prompt. And here we have image prompt strength and aspect ratio. And for the aspect ratio, I'll go for the 4.5, 4 to 5 aspect ratio, and we have the safety tolerance. And of course, our file formats, the output format. Let's save this on PNG. Okay. So creating our prompt, the first thing we need to consider is this. This is the important part. All right. In creating your prompts, you need to consider exactly what you want. Now, I'll be speaking as a photographer. Okay. And to create a proper prompt structure, the first thing you want to consider is the image story or the image structure. What do you want? Let's say a beautiful lady, a fair or tan skinned, beautiful black American lady, or a tan skinned Yoruba lady, all right? And then you go ahead to describe her outfit, and then you talk about the scenery, and then you talk about the season and time of the day if you want to. Then you talk about other details like there's a yellow taxi going behind her, the background is blurred, and there's a child running just across her at the foreground, and there's a guy riding a bicycle. You start describing, all right, what the image should look like. You start adding your compositions and everything you want within the frame. That's what the details should stand for. Then you go to the mood and expression. You can say a low light image, a low light image, a short light angle image, low angle, and then you describe all the mood. Her expression, she looks cheerful, she's happy, she looks a bit sad, worried. That's where you had all of this mood to it, right? Then you talk about the light, and then you talk about more. More is infinite, right? Within more, you can add whatever your creative mind asks you to, whatever your imagination will give you access to. You can just add it to the more. You can talk about she has a tattoo on, she wears a bead, she has she's this, she wore certain kind of outfit with this kind of details on their outfit. And that's where you start to talk about more. The image was shot with an Hasselblad X2D on 85 mm lens, 1.2 aperture, 1.0 aperture. You talk about the speed, shallow depth of field, what's called motion blur and all of that. You begin to describe, you begin to say everything you want the image to contain. You add it to your prompt. So That's actually how you form your prompt. Now, let's say you're not a photographer, you're a filmmaker. It's just about the same approach. You talk about the image being cinematic, a young girl in the dark, and a mysterious figure. You talk about a happy-looking guy, in a dramatic moving scene. Yeah, you add up all of this stuff. You talk about what shirt he's wearing. He's wearing a red shirt, a dominant red shirt in the scene, and the environment, what it looks like. You begin to describe. That's what prompting is about. Prompting is how well you can tell the machine what you want. How descriptive you can be about what you want. That's what prompting is about. I don't. There's nobody who would call his or herself a master in prompting. If you're good in communicating what you want or what you want to see to AI, it will give you exactly what you want to see. If you're not so good in doing so, it won't give you that. But however, I'll show you other ways to modify your prompt and just to make it better, and we'll get to that. So back to prompting, that is what prompting is about. May you describe everything you want in this image, every single details, talk about it. There's no perfect way to do it. Just keep saying it, keep writing it out there, okay? Until you feel satisfied. And as soon as you're in that space, you go ahead and process the image. So quickly, we'll try one of that. Yep. What I will just do. Already I have some prompts that I think we can work with. But however, I want us to just work on something together, okay? So let's create a scene in our mind. Let's say, and again, it doesn't have to be photograph. It could be animation. It could be a 2D animation. It could be anything. It could be just about anything you can imagine. All right. So let's say, what's in front of me right now? Let's say a lens. Okay. Um, Illustration of a Canon 50 mm lens, right? Then we talk about what we want the lens to have. Let's say we want the lens to have a mouth, eyes, nose. Then we begin to describe all of that. Okay. We talk about the lens having animated or slash illustrated eyes, nose, and a big mouth. Okay. We describe all of this. Okay, we'll go further with this anyway. We describe all this, copy it, we go to our prompt space right there and just add it up. This for a shot because we'll work on some other prompts and let's see what we get. Also, while we're going through the class, if you have any question, feel free to write it out, and after the FAQ, there'll be space for you to actually ask your own personal question, and then we can go through it. Okay, this looks nice, but this is not perfect. This is not exactly what I had imagined. And to get what I have in mind, I need to add more to the prompt. I need to talk about where I want it to be on the table of a photographer or a workstation table and all of that. And I will do all of those descriptions until I get my desired result. But not to waste any more time, I'll just pick one of these that I've already prompted. I'll pick it up and paste it right there. And here's what I have. High fashion editorial photograph. A young male model in a tailed double-breasted trench coat draped sideways across the mirror-polished hood of a vintage midnight blue Ferrari. His cheek rests on the chrome surface and one eye pierced through the circular hood ornament ring. So what we have here now, you can see the first thing I actually talked about was it's a high fashion editorial photograph. I need the machine to understand what kind of photography I'm trying to create. It's not just it's not a portrait photograph. It's not just a portrait photograph. I mean, it's not a baby photograph. It's a high it's a high fashion editorial. It's a fashion photograph and it's an editorial photograph. Okay, and then I go ahead to describe the main character of the scene, and that happens to be a young man, a young male model. All right, that's the next part. Now I'm structuring my prompts. That's the next part, and then I go to talk about his outfit. What he's wearing? He's wearing a tail double-breasted trench coat, draped sideways across the mirror-polished hood of a vintage midnight Ferrari, a blue Ferrari. So now I just added a car to the scene, right? There's an interaction between the model and the car, and it goes on like that. We'll talk about his mood, right? Then we'll talk about his mood. You're creating a playful or surreal focal point. Then we'll talk about the kind of camera lens. It's a 20 mm lens from a low angle, a low front center angle that exaggerates the gleaming grill and hood ornaments. All right. Then all of that. After the entire description, I don't want to add any image to this. Okay. And yeah, the prompt is okay. The aspect ratio is okay. Now, if I want it to look more realistic, all I need to do is click on the raw, okay, and to look way more realistic, but I don't need that for now. So I will just go ahead and click on raw. Okay. Okay. Now, here's what we have, but this is not good. This is not what I have in mind. All right. So all I will have to do is restructure the prompt, okay, to get exactly what I have in mind. Now, like I said, there's no perfect prompts. You have to restructure until you get exactly what you want. All right. There are times you would work on you would have to create up to maybe 10 images, 5 images, just like in photography, and then pick your very best. Now, what we don't have here is I'd want this guy to be in front of the car and not behind the car. And how do I go about that? Now, I will look through my prompt and make sure I fix that. However, if I go ahead and run another creation, it might give me something similar to what I have in mind. But instead of doing so, I just want to go here and say, okay, I fashion editorial photograph of a young male model in a, okay, sideways across. Now we have to take this off. And I'll just add standing at the front of the front of a vintage midnight blue Ferrari. So let's create this now. I think with that we would have something very different, you know. And I would want to add 8K resolution. Okay, let's talk about photograph with an Hasselblad X2D. Okay, and we can go ahead and just recreate this. This will take a while. Okay, still not getting what I want. Okay, so I have to take that off and create it all over again until I get what I want. Because for most cases, when I'm working on a project, it's either based on client specification or what I had imagined. Okay, so you can't give random images. You have to be certain this is what you want for the project. Now do the standing on the car, which is not part of what we want. So say avoid. or instead of a negative prompt, you want to say is wearing a red shoe. Now, what I just did by adding is wearing a red shoe is I just told the AI machine that, hey, I need to see the shoes. And if I need to see the shoes, immediately the AI machine understands that the guy cannot be inside the car for me to see the shoes. So the guy has to come outside of the car. And what I just did is to give it an indirect prompt. And let's see how that turns out. Now you see that, right? And there are times you actually face things like that. All you need to do is tell the AI machine that you want to see the shoe, or just give it an indirect prompt, and then it will bring it will actually give you a desired result. But still, this is not what I want for the image. I would want a fish eye effect for the image. So I go ahead and say uh, 20 mm fish eye lens. Fish eye lens here. Then I'll go ahead and say distorted perspective. Okay, and just however, whatever image you create on this platform is saved somewhere, and I'll show you exactly where to go back. If you need to reference back these images, you can just go there and pick them up. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, I think I like this. I like this way more. All right. And once you feel satisfied with your outcome, all you need to do is click on the image once, and then it will appear on your on a different tab. Then you can just save it. Okay, so I'll quickly save this to the creative button. Okay. Now to get a more realistic looking, image, what you will need to do is click on the box right here that says raw. Okay, you click once on it and recreate. Okay, so while this is actually processing, I would like to say a thing or two about getting consistency in your images, right? Now that we have our, okay, yeah, this is looking way more realistic than the first. And you see these are high res. You can actually increase the resolution way more than this if you want. And I will share a few applications you can use for that. Now, this is looking way more editorial, and this is looking a lot more realistic. It has more textures to the suit, to the jacket rather, and this one has lesser textures to this jacket. And if you look at the shoes, we have more textures on the shoes, unlike this one. Okay, so once you want more realistic looking image, just go ahead and click on the box right here, and then you will definitely get that. And if you like what you got and you want to create more like similar images with maybe different postures, all you need to do is come to your log. Here we have the show log. Click on it. Come to your using seed and copy your seed. Right? What the seed actually means is whenever an image is created, somewhere in the memory, right, it has saved a seed that identifies with the particular image. So you can always go back, use that seed, tweak the seed a bit if you want, and it will give you similar image if you use the same seed. But then if you use the same seed, right, like we have it here, and you change the prompt, right, it will give you the same person but a different, maybe the posture or the lighting. So I can now go ahead and say midnight let's say midnight purple. All right, excuse me. Now you see, which the only thing we got to change here was the color from blue to purple, meaning the entire the overall image color, and we kept the seed to be the same, right? Now we have a purple car, unlike before where we had a blue car, but the image is the same. Every detail is the same, right? There's slight shift to the guy's face, but the image, the person is the same, the suit is the same, and that's how you get consistent looking images. That's in flux, right? And you can just walk your way around like that. Now, if you want to create something even more, now we can start adding editorial shot, and once let's say outdoor, maybe not indoor this time. I'll take this out and take this off as well. And let's say um, uh, let's say there's a no. Okay, street eye fashion photograph, right? And Oshodi, okay? Oshodi, Lagos, Nigeria. Now we still have all of this, but that's not a problem. So let's just go to our new prompt and see how it turns out here in Lagos. Okay, this is loading. Just a minute. I think I need to do more. I need to actually change the entire prompt structure to get that Oshodi look. All right, that hard dog look and all. So okay, so that's that for prompting, and we can just go all the way in, right, and talk about prompting all day, but not to waste much time because we have limited time. Now that's for Flux. Now we have the Google. This is new and this is like the best right now. The Google VO3 is the best in the market for video generation. I trust most of you must have seen images where a child is talking or some dude or lady is they're speaking and everything sync. I mean the audio, the the lyrics, the background noise, everything is just perfect like it's a movie. And it's all AI, all generated through AI. And images like that generated with the I will show you just shortly. All right, this is the application using generating it, the Google VO3. All right, now we have the VO2, but the VO3 is the most recent and is the best right now when it comes to video AI generation. All right, so we'll talk about this and then we'll create some really nice images from it. Okay, so yeah, let's just go to okay. So this will just take a while to load. All right, so these are some of the some of the projects I was just working on. That was last month. Okay, so what we want to do to create on the flow. First of all, I need to show you how to actually log in to sign up into Flow and start creating really interesting images. And for to do so, all you need to do is go to Google Google Lab. Okay, you go to Google Lab and then you click on that. Okay, so under Google Lab, we have the flow, we have other really nice tools that you can work with. All right, but what we're talking about today is AI video. And again, like I said, anybody can use AI. In a small, I mean, in a small you are consistent with your research and you understand your prompting, like I just shared. Of course, I'll share the PDF. If you understand your prompting, you can always use AI. Same with ChatGPT. You can go to ChatGPT and just chat with it and tell it what you want to do. Okay, I can easily come to ChatGPT right now, all right, and say, okay, I have an idea, and I need you to create certain kind of prompt. Okay, I have an idea, I need you to create a copy for my next content. This is what I need you to do. I need you to remind me of this and this and that. So AI tools are there to actually assist us, right? It's like an everyday tool. Normally, things you would have spent hours and days to accomplish. With AI tools, you can do this in matters of minutes and hours, right? And they'll come out looking very good. However, I do not advise that you throw away your own creativity and your own style, okay? What you need to do is incorporate your style into AI, okay? Now, just before the end of this class, I will show you an image of my photograph from way back, and then I'll show you another image of my AI uh, project, and then I believe you'll find almost similar features because it's coming from the same mind, the same person. So despite the fact these tools are there and they are really good, they are very advanced, your style still needs to reflect somehow because that's what makes you unique. That's what will actually get you out of this the about to be very noisy market. That's what will separate you. I got a message from a client yesterday, and we discussed for hours. And there's something she said to me that the reason why she actually picked my gig, my project, among other ones that she saw, was the fact that I worked real good with the melanin, with the black skin. And what she's working on is some kind of Afro feast, right? And she will lead me to create certain kind of images. And the reason she reached out to me was because of the how well I was able to interact with the AI to create that kind of that texture and that skin type. Okay. So what am I saying? Your style, your personality should always reflect, right? In using these tools. You don't want to just throw it away. Okay. So that's that. And now this ChatGPT, I'm using the paid version, but they also have the free version, right? I mean, the free version is nowhere close to what the paid version will give you. Now with ChatGPT, you can as well create images. Okay, you can go to the GPT 4.0, which is really good for creating images. You click on it, you come to this, and then you add create image, create images, right? Now let's go back to our prompt and just pick one of these. Let's say, yeah, okay. Because this is actually for the video, but I'll just copy a part of it and let's see what the outcome will look like. And again, to incorporate this into your day-to-day workflow, what you want to do is understand first. You understand what you're doing, how you've been working. Oh, okay, okay. You understand how you've been working and what you actually need to get your work done, right? First thing you will need to do is write down what you need, what you're trying to achieve. Make sure you have it figured out. Okay, this is what I want for this job. Okay. Then after that, if you don't know what tools to use, because I mean there are thousands of tools out there, and no, I don't know all the tools, but then I know exactly what I need for every job. And the ones I don't know, what I need to do is a quick research. Okay, I will just come down to the AI application right here in ChatGPT and ask it. Okay, this is what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, I could go like hello chat, hello. I have an ongoing project and intend to create AI audio for the sound track. Can you refer, right? Can you suggest eight or let's say eight AI audio to generative AI tool for this? As simple as that. Okay, and I'll need to take this off. We go to let's go to O3. O3 is is the most advanced presently, and then I'll just go to search and wait for the result. Okay, so it has few questions to ask. Is it AI generated music? So for one, I'll simply say one, both. Okay, two, do you want to generate completely original composition or the mix modified? Then I'll just go complete original composition. Now, this is how I use AI on a day-to-day basis, right? Then the third one, are you looking for tools that support? For the rest, I might just say using, use. Now you see, I'm interacting with the machine as though I'm interacting with a colleague or someone who I'm working with, of course, right? And that's what it's like. You don't have to. You don't need a perfect word, right? Just connect with it, tell it what you want, and like I said, the machine is quite intelligent. I mean, it's about 1,000 presently. It's about 1,050 or 60 IQ points, and it will increase. This is an LLM, of course, a large language model, right? And this will increase in another few months from now. All right. So we have a large language model, which is like a chat GPT, like Grok, like DeepSeek, like Gemini, Cloud, and all of that. And then we also have the image generator, like the Midjourney AI, the Flux, the Imagen 4, and Leonardo AI, and all the rest. Excuse me. Okay. This will take a while. Okay. So while we wait for this to load, I'll just move to the next. All right. And how to integrate AI into your daily workflow. Exactly what we're talking about. Be interactive, right? Interact with the AI machine, interact with ChatGPT, like what I'm using. Now for Photoshop, you should be able to interact with Photoshop as well. All right. I use the AI version of Photoshop. You should be able to interact with Photoshop as well to create what you want. Okay. And maybe I'll do a thing also on let's say we want to okay, we want to change the background, for instance. All I need to do is come to this and click on remove background. All right. The outfit you're seeing is actually a real outfit for a client, but the you know it's real, but the model is not real. The environment is not real. Now to crop that, you see how quickly it was able to crop it, and you see how clean that is. Okay. So now I'll just pick another job for better reference. But I'd like to show you the face and show the air and every other part. I'll just pick one of my uh, personal project. Hold on, just a minute. Okay. Let's Let's work on. Okay, let's just work on this. This is some very old project though. This is very old. Now this was created with Midjourney. Now if I'm going to change the background, all I need to do, of course, is use this AI tool instead of going through the old process of having to crop and then we get this shabby looking hair, not very nice. All you need to do is click on the remove background. One click. It makes it easy. It makes life and the process is way easier. Okay, one click. That's what we have. Now you can zoom all the way into the hair and you see how detailed this is. Very detailed. And if you want to confirm how detailed it is, all you need to do is change the background to black. Now that's very detailed. That's very, very detailed because it's leaving every strand of hair, right? And that's one way to use that's the actual way to use AI to remove your background. And if you still have parts that you don't like, I mean, here we have a bit of there's a crop off, and what I need to do is just click on the mask. Of course, pick up your brush to reduce it, increase the opacity just a bit, and increase the opacity and paint on that edge just to bring back some of the details. Yeah, and I think we're good. Normally, this would take hours to get it well done, but it only took less than 5 seconds to do it today, and that's what AI is about. It's about speed. I mean, we're in an era of abundance, and the best thing you can do is to, while not losing oneself, is to flow with the wave of this knowledge and learn daily on what is new and what you need to use for your everyday project. And yeah, that's that. If I want to change the background to something else, I can as well do so. All I need to do is come back to this and okay, I'll just save these. I'll save this as what? Okay, let's save this as a smart object. Okay, then change to white. Now we've created a mask. This will take so much of our time, but we've created a mask, and now we can go to flux and create a background that will replicate the background that was there, and it will look so perfect with the shadows, with everything. Now you don't have to go through the whole long processes of, but this will take so much of our time. We'll go down there, and then after that we can bring back to Photoshop and start adjusting every flaw and everything we're not satisfied with. So yeah, we can just move from here, go back to ChatGPT and see how far we've come. Okay, this is still loading. Okay, I see we have some questions here. Yeah, that's Flux. Flux here. I will send a PDF of some of these names so everybody can have access to these tools. And some of I mean, they are not complicated to install, right? You don't have to install it. You just use it on your browser. There are other tools like Pinocchio. I mean, like I said, there are thousands of tools, and you don't want to know all, but you want to know exactly what you need for your project. All right, and to do so, like I said, leverage on the same AI, right? It's a machine that actually has broad knowledge of what we've been doing and combined knowledge and all of that. So leverage on AI, go to the AI to ChatGPT and ask for what tool is best for this. It will give you a list of tools. Go there, check what tool is best for it. Since you already understand prompting, right? Now creating this using these tools will be easier for you. Now, prompting, like I said, is the basic. If you don't understand prompting, you can't do anything with AI. Yeah, yeah. I will come to this question. And for ChatGPT, it's about $20 per month. But prompting is the basic. Once you understand prompting, you can do whatever you want. You can create whatever you want, whatever your imagination can actually create. You can recreate it. And we're going to touch the video real soon. But just before we do so, now, this was a question we have ChatGPT. It's like the most advanced right now. And here we have numbers of AI tools. Suno AI. I've created really good music with Suno AI. I don't know, maybe I can play them before the end of the class. And YouTube, I've never used this before. Tried AI, I've never used that. I've used this, uh, and I've used this, and there are some I've never used, and there are some I've used because at the time they were just way better for me, right? You could go back there tomorrow, and Suno is no longer the best. Now Boomi is the best, right? And you want to switch. You just keep playing around with it. But the most important thing is knowing what you need for your ongoing project. Okay, so leverage on ChatGPT to get your tools. You can ask ChatGPT to give you updates on a weekly basis on what is new. Like I've programmed this, and every week, every Friday, I get updates on what is new and what's trending. Now I can go ahead and study, so I don't get left behind. It's a flow, and it's quite fast, very fast. It's the fastest we've seen, the fastest innovation disrupt technology we've seen in human history is very fast. So you want to just flow with what's new and always get your information as frequently as possible. All right. Now you have all of this, so you can do the same. If you leave the prompt I use for this, which is very basic, right? And the prompt is just as basic as hello, I have an ongoing project and I need this and this and this. And I have exactly it. You can say to ChatGPT, give me 200 content for my coming 200 copyright or content for my coming social post or my website, and to do just that. So it's not like there's a gatekeeping, someone knows, but no, the most important thing to know is understand prompting and stay consistent. However, as time progresses, we all have our niches, we all have what makes us unique, and now you can impart your unique knowledge to the next person, right? But prompting is the basic, and everybody has access to that, right? And I really want everybody to go back and play around with this, okay? So yeah, that's that for prompting and integration of AI to your daily workflow. Let's say you have an upcoming project where a portrait show for a celebrity or anybody, and you're just not sure what light and what outcome to expect, right? Like I would say, don't stop using your creative mind, right? To actually first composite what you want before creating it, because our biology is such that what you don't use you eventually lose, right? So you want to like use your mind. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. Now AI should be an assistant to help you achieve that. Okay, so let's say you have an upcoming portrait show for a client, and you're not sure what kind of light setup you want to use, but you want something quite dramatic. Now you can go ahead and create your mood board, right? From uh, um, Flux, from Midjourney or ChatGPT. Go ahead, create your mood board, and now you have something to work with. When you get to your locations, you don't have to start getting idea from the from top of your head as just spontaneously, on the go. You don't have to do that. You already have your mood board, and this is what we're working on. Your entire team understand your direction, your heart direction. So nobody is moving left while you're trying to move right. Everybody is working toward the same direction and the same goal. That's one way you can use ChatGPT for your daily workflow as a photographer. And if you're a fashion designer, of course, you need it, right? You can create the desired outcome even before you start to draft out your patterns and all of that. And if you're a filmmaker, you need it also for your mood board and your storyboard, your scripting. After you must have written out your script, you want to modify, you want to make it a lot more interesting. Now, this is the tool to use. ChatGPT is the tool to use. If you cannot work with ChatGPT because maybe you don't pay for the subscription, you can use the free version, or you can use Grok. This is from Elon Musk, right? Or you can use DeepSeek. Okay, DeepSeek, no, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is China owned, but it's very good as well. All right, you can work with DeepSeek. These are all free platforms that you can work with. Okay, and I said something about Midjourney. I know almost everybody knows about Midjourney by now. So this is Midjourney. We have Leonardo AI. Right? We have the Leonardo AI right there. We have the Midjourney. This is Midjourney. Okay. If you Midjourney, the sub is $10 per month, and you get to create limited numbers of images, but they are quite much at the end of the day. So this is Midjourney, and it's a different class on its own, right? I mean, it will take so much time to go through this, but all the same, if you understand your prompting, you will do good with it. An artist who uses Midjourney will create better artistic image than a photographer. A photographer will create better photographic images than an artist. And like I said, a writer will create better what's called an illustrator will create better illustration than one who is not an illustrator. Okay, so if you're already on your path, all you need to do is make use of these tools to amplify and speed up your processes. That's all. Okay, and like I said, there's really no limit to what you can do when it comes to this. There's actually almost no limit, right? As at this present, you can do just about anything. In as much you're able to put your ideas into into a very comprehensive manner and then work on them, you are able to create just about anything. Okay, so let's create some videos. I don't let's work on some videos and see what the outcome will look like. Now this is video. This is a VO3 by Google. It's like I said, it's the most advanced. With this, you can create an entire movie. Yes, Hollywood and every other platform film out right now understand that this is big. Quickly, I'll talk about Calipari. The same year AI was introduced, there was a protest in the United States, and a lot of people came out, a lot of actors and actresses came out, and they protested against AI because it was proposed that eventually actors will be paid off why their avatar would be used for future movies, and it wasn't a good idea for them. I mean, that's putting people out of business, right? And Tyler Perry, who actually owned the biggest, I don't know if I'm correct, if I'm correct about this, the biggest AI film studio in the United States right now, had to stop a project that I was working on. I think $500 million project that I was working on. He had to stop, right? And he waited to see where everything is leading to. So instead of having to create this whole environment, now you can do this with AI, and it will look so perfect. Okay. If you use Adobe paid edition, now you can extend your videos. You know, there are times you shoot this really nice wedding, and the bride was dressing, and then she actually gave a gesture, and it's nice, but you want it to extend a little bit longer. But meanwhile, you don't have up to that length in the footage. With the AI Adobe Premiere Pro Firefly, you can increase the length, and it will be so realistic that nobody would ever detect that this was AI infused, right? Okay, so let's work with the V. Let's work on our. Okay. Uh, so, like you can see, I have three options here. I have the fast, the quality, and then the highest quality. Now, the fast will not give you very nice images. These are their old versions, which are not as good as anyone, of course. And then the video will not give you. It will give you a fair image, but not good enough for cinematic view. Now, with the highest quality, this is where you have the experimental audio, right? You click on this, and you have 100 credits for everything you create. Now, for this, you have just for this you can work with 10 credits, but this is 100 credits, and their sub is about I think $20 also, and then they have another one for about $90 and so on, right? And yeah, I want us to create a quick video using this particular prompt that I created. Like I said, it's same thing. Prompting is about the same thing everywhere. Okay, we only have slight differences in Midjourney where you have to put your aspect ratio and some of the parameters, right? But every other platform, prompting is just about the same thing. So what I'll do is insert the prompt, okay, and create. Now this will take a while. And if you look at my prompt, you'll notice I added, okay, this is it. I added yes, an elderly black American man with, oh, okay, there's an error here. An elderly black grade. Okay, I can just go ahead and relaxes in a bathrobe, brimming with water and white foam, playfully squeezing a small yellow rubber dog. The camera slowly zooms in. He suddenly looks up, smiles, and says, "Don't limit your imagination because you can make it real." Right? And this is what we're trying to create. Although the prompt I inserted is not perfect, I have to make some correction. However, because it's an AI machine, right? It's interactive. It would actually create as in correct certain things and just make it look as good as I want. Okay. So the word interactive is key. It's very interactive. It's more like a Web3. It's not, you're not just interacting with it, but now it interacts with you as well, right? In coming months from now, you could actually wake up in the morning and your AI machine, without you saying a word, would just say good morning, because it will be able to time your, it will be able to work on your timing and know when you actually wake up each morning, right? And probably hear your footsteps. And that has been for long, of course. Our phones has inbuilt microphone that listen to some of our conversations and all of that. All these things have been in existence long before now. And we're only moving way more into it. Okay, this is it. This is what we've got. I'm not sure. I'm not sure anybody can hear the audio, right? Yeah, and well detailed and very good, of course. This is going to make it way better. You can just you can move on to how to queue and then start editing maybe a longer film from here. You can add in more clips, writing your scripts and just make a movie out of this. Okay. And that's for VO3. Like I said, prompting is the basic of everything. And if you understand prompting, you will always create your desired images or text or videos or sound, of course. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next. Yeah, where I think AI is headed in short term. Okay, so I first got introduced to got stumbled on AI sometime, I think about September, October 2021, and I created my first image in Midjourney. It was so nice, you know. Called a friend and said, "Man, this really looks nice. How about we start making prints?" And I just had a business idea as soon as I saw it back then, you know. And a few weeks later, it got way more advanced. A few months later, it became so advanced, and it was just everywhere, you know. And the thing is, aside the fact that it's moving so fast, and presently it's disrupting the entire space. There's panic. AI will take the jobs, and AI will do this, and AI will do that. First of all, before we get to the point where we begin to panic that AI will take the job, first, people who understand AI will take the job. That's the truth. people who knows how to use this tool, who knows how to make their research, who knows how to curate. When we are in the era of curation, not just you have to be able to curate to bring this, and this together to actually get what you want. You know, these are the people who would actually take over that job market or create new jobs. Okay, and those who are unable to learn, who are unable to catch up with AI, just like the first reference I made about people who did not move from analog photography to digital photography, that will eventually fizzle out. That's the truth. You know, those who have been able to incorporate AI, integrate it into their everyday workflow, into their applications, into their website, they will thrive in in this era. Okay, and this is an era of speed. This is an era of abundance of knowledge, abundance of information, abundance in many ways, abundance, and you can easily start up today and start making. If you want to get if you want to build a financial structure from it, you can easily do that. Unlike before, anybody can jump into it today and start making something from it within the next few weeks or months, right? So there's abundance, but your ability to keep up with the pace, right? Your ability to join community. That's why I would always say this. I mean, the initiative of the creative quarter is a brilliant, it's a very good initiative, and it's helping creatives to come together, share ideas, learn from each other, get to know what next, and how to actually move within the space, right? So what you want to do is keep catching up, keep learning how to curate, keep up with the communities you're in, join as much community as you can catch up with, learn, share ideas, and keep moving within the space. However, within time, we're going to have AGI, we're going to have uh, not just soft software, we're going to have hardware robots, that will do some of the work we are doing today, like plumbing and all of that. This robot will do all of those works, right? We're getting to that part. We're getting to AGI, we're getting to ASI, we're getting to singularity, and where a time where AI is more knowledgeable than every human, according to what they're saying, right? But AI is not God. The time where AI will become so knowledgeable. So we're getting to all of that. But why this is happening, we need to be able to catch up because AI will not really take all the jobs, right? No, it will not. There must be another. There must be a way through, right? Now, if AI takes all the job, my thought has been, all my conversation with people has been, if AI should take all the job, then who pays for what? If I don't get to earn because AI took all the job and the next person doesn't get to earn, then the owner of this platform, how do they get to earn? Because if I'm not buying anything, the economy is no longer working. So there would always be, it's a Web3, it's interactive. There would always be a space for our creativity. It's just that we're going to find more of ourselves, you know, more of our creative power, just beyond what we've been doing. It's going to push us into an entire different dimension where we'll do way more than we're doing right now. That's my take, and that's what I think. But however, why the wave is moving? Because it moves in waves, like I said. Started 2021, and I think we're in the third wave right now where we have the AI agents. And the AI agents, for a brief explanation, is you talk to this AI and say, "Hey, I need you to create this, then post it to my website or to my socials, and give me feedback. Send this feedback to my email, and I'll need you to do this within this duration." And just a prompt, and this machine will go ahead, create this stuff you talk about, scan through it, and to make sure there's no error, have it posted, scroll through your Instagram page, have it posted, right? Make sure it's interactive, and when people get to interact with it, this AI machine would actually um, maybe give a feedback to, a comment back, and after everything, you get to give your feedback. That's AI agent. We are actually in the era of AI agent, and it's getting better, right? It's getting way better, and it's moving very fast. So all this is happening, but it's not a call for panic. There's a call for actually sitting back and saying, okay, where is my space, right? Within this whole new AI-driven economy and AI-driven world, where's my space? What am I doing? What am I learning? What do I need to learn? Keep learning. Uh, keep accumulating the right knowledge. Okay, and I'm certain that with that, we're definitely going to scale through, and we're definitely going to benefit from, I mean, these innovation. Okay, yeah, that's actually my take. So it's as simple as it is, but yeah, that has been my take on AI, where it's heading towards, and myself, how where myself should be going, and how to catch up with it, and as well how to catch up with a better version. All right, how to create a better version of myself within this period while it's moving towards a direction. I'm learning, I'm creating, I'm learning how to be more than just what I'm doing right now on a daily basis. And yeah, I think that's actually my take, and what I think for the short term AI will become, and where we're headed towards. Okay, so connection over perfection. Excuse me. So what this actually means is why we use the AI tools to create really innovative ideas, work integrated to our ongoing project, is more of connection over perfection. Now, what do I mean? I mean, as an intelligence on its own, right? It actually tries to give perfect answers. However, we want to be able to connect and have people connect with whatever we're doing. Okay. First, we want to connect with our heart. Why was this created? Okay. And how would people perceive it, and how would they interact with it? It might not be all that perfect, but then somehow you're able to connect with it, and oh, maybe the look, the hair, and it got exactly to who it was meant for. So it's always uh, in my line of preference, right? It's connection over perfection. Perfection comes in, but connection first. Okay, so I said something about showing an old image, some image I took about maybe 10 years ago. Let me see. Sorry. Okay, just a moment. Okay, let's use this for an instance of, okay, all right. This is like an image I took really long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. These are very, very old images, 10 or 12 years ago. And this is, then I will show you an image I created just within this year using AI, because I want you to see that the consistency in my style still remains. However, with let's see if we can work with no, um, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. Okay, maybe I can use and work with this. Okay, I'll just I'll okay, I'll just work with this. All right. So this is I mean, the heart is an actual product. Then every other thing was created using AI and modified, recreated, right? Now compared to, hold on, let me get a better, see if I can get a better example for that. Okay. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, so these are some product projects using AI. So yeah, you can still see some of the consistency in my image. This is actually old, but then you can see the consistency in the details, right? Because I like my image to be well detailed. Now you can see how detailed it is. I mean the skin textures and all of that. And if you come to this, right, you see this is just as detailed, but then photography, of course, has its own unique features, and these are just as detailed, right? And like it goes on like that. And so you want to keep your style consistent. You don't want to like do away with it because you have tools that will make it easier for you. All right. So yeah, that's that connection over perfection. And yes, this is also done using AI. So and I think yeah, I think that should be that we've come to the end of the class, and we'll be open for questions. We have our FAQ, a PDF of our FAQ, and afterwards we can now ask personal questions. We can take questions from our chat box and just close up on them.
All right, thank you so much, Dafe. This is this has been a very great session. Thank you so much. I don't know if we have questions. The reason why Dafe actually dwelt a lot on prompting or prompts was because majority of the questions we got, from the forms that were filled, was majorly around prompting. How do I get the prompts right? What kind of prompt do I use, and all of that? And I think you have done justice to that already. So if you have any question right here, anything you need us to do before we call it a day, this would be a good time to ask the question, so that if there's anything that he needs to demo, he can demo it right now. And then also that would be like a good starting point for us to also go and try. And I hope that even with what we've learned tonight, we can personally just go and do a little bit more than we've done before. I mean, other tools that I personally use are more or less like the Adobe, Firefly. Then I mean, because I know some people talked about how to be able to generate background for their images, add elements to like their pictures and all of that. So Adobe Firefly, I've used that, and I mean, coupled with other things that we have talked about tonight, I think I'll be able to do more with what I know. So we just have about 2 minutes more for anyone to ask question if you have. And if you don't, if there's any video that is maybe longer version than what you created earlier, you can probably play it while we just use the remaining 2 minutes to wait for any questions to drop.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think
Yeah.
someone has a question. Okay.
You saw what?
No, I actually thought someone was going to ask a question, but yeah, we'll just play through some videos and then wait to just wait for questions to drop.
So if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section so that we can take it before we close tonight. We just have a few minutes to go, and but we'd like to get your question, to answer your question, and yeah. Yeah, so if you have any video that you want to play before we call it a night, let's see what it looks like. Maybe that would also inspire anyone that wants to ask questions to ask questions.
Okay, I think I have a short video, not really long, just a short one. And this, okay. We almost assumed it. This is just a clip. This is a
So what? Which of the stuffs, the platforms did you use for this video?
Okay, this was done using the VO3, the Google VO3. The last one I showed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And good thing is, I'm not sure anybody can get the audio from here, but then the good thing is, it actually uh, has the perfect audio and perfect listening for every video you're creating.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
All
that's
right.
good. Yeah. So that
Okay.
is. Do we have any questions here?
Okay, fantastic. Since there are no questions, I just want to say thank you to everyone that have joined tonight. Um, we are just making our effort to ensure that we are able to create platforms for people to get educated in technical perspective and also the business aspect of their creative endeavor, and that's one of the reasons why we've brought, Dafe to teach us tonight. Other things that we do is that we have podcasts for the creative quarters, just to also do the same thing, impact knowledge, help us shed light in areas where we are not really clear about. The last podcast that is recently up was with Kabeni. He's a street and documentary photographer. The next one that will be coming up in the couple of days is with a creative that really understands structure as a creative. So you can watch out for that. If you have not subscribed to this platform, I'd say subscribe because there's so much, for you to gain here. Creative Quarters is actually a community that is set up, to educate through workshops, mentorship, podcasts, webinar like this, and also connect creatives, to tools, access to tools, to get access to tools at a discounted rate. And also, by extension, what we are doing is also to be able to create opportunity for creatives to get, access to finance, to be able to finance your business. So we look forward to doing greater things, God helping us. So if you are yet to also join our WhatsApp community and you'd like to join, the link to join will be in the description of this video, so you can always check out for it and join us. Thank you so much once again, Dafe. I'm really grateful, and it's been a long time coming. I'm grateful. So I'll be reaching out. I mean, definitely will be reaching out for more. And if you want to learn deeper, about what we have practiced tonight, you can always check out Dafe on Instagram, and send him a DM so that maybe you can take a one-on-one with him. Thank you so much once again. I'm grateful, and this is what we'll call it a night. Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Yeah.
Good night.
So I'll just go around the room quickly. I want to get a sense of your expectation from this session.
Nothing beats hands-on learning, so I'm just here to absorb as much as I can.
I'm just here to discover what may or may not be missing for the next step of my career.
I'm here to learn, relearn.
So when you talk about photography and a picture, composition is everything that picture consists of. So right now I'm switching at 1.2 and just blurring out the texture on that background.
Once the hands are in the shot, like it's an automatic winner, it just makes for a very wholesome image right on the edge of the box. Okay, because the lighting I want to use is the light that comes from the outside of the box.